Hello and welcome back to ArchiQuest. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to convert simple sections from this to a presentation-like section like this. If this is your first time joining our channel, welcome. My name is Grant, and in this channel we dish out interesting content relating to architecture. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. Now I have my Revit file opened already with an already finished section in it. So the first thing we are going to do is to export this section as a PNG file so that we can use it to work in Photoshop, because we're going to be doing most of our work in Photoshop. So for us to export this section, the first thing we need to do is to come under our file tab. You click on file, you click on export, you come down to this drop down, just put your cursor there, it's automatically going to go down for you. You come under image and animations, you click on image, you change the location. Now I'm going to save it here. I click on the current view, I change this to 6000 pixels, then I click on OK. It is automatically going to save in that folder. Now we are done with our Revit. Now the next thing we need to do is to open our Photoshop software. I'm going to be using Adobe Photoshop 2022 for this tutorial. So it takes time to load, so we just have to wait for the Photoshop to load. Okay, as our Photoshop is open, the first thing we need to do is to create a new file. We come under the new file, we're going to be using an A3 sheet, and we want this to be on landscape, so we're going to click on this to make it landscape. Every other thing is correct, then we click on create. So now this is our interface, the Photoshop interface. So the next thing we're going to do is to import our exported image from Revit into Photoshop. Now I go to where the export is, which is under my YouTube. Now you can see the export here. So I'm just going to drag it into Photoshop. Now that it has appeared into Photoshop, just click on good to check this. Now the first thing we are going to do, we need to uncheck this background first of all. Now we need to make this background and also the imported image, we need to invert the color. Now for us to invert the color, we need to come under our image, we need to select the what we want to invert first. We need to select it. We'll come under image, under adjustments, you will see invert here, and you can also see the short form for this is Ctrl+I. So we click on invert. Now you can see how black it already is. So we also need to do this for the background because it only inverted just the imported file. So we need to do this also for the background. So we click on the background, we click on image, adjustments, invert. Good. Now you can see that everything is black. So now the next thing we are going to do is to reduce the opacity of this. Now for us to do that, we click on this invert. You see a small icon here. We click this, we reduce the opacity, let's say 70. Okay, this is too faded. We want it to be something we can also read because we don't want it to look like a background image. So let's increase it a little bit, let's say 90, or let's say 87. Okay, I think I like this. 87 is okay. So now this is that. Now you can see that the difference from the background is different from the image. So we also need to make this background color the same thing with the image. So we click on this background, we come under here, we click on this create new fill or adjustment layer. We click on solid color, then we just pick this image here, then it automatically rhymes everything up. Now you can see that the whole interface is gray in color. Now after this, the next thing we need to do is to import our paper texture to this. Now the paper texture is going to be on the link in the description below. You can go there and you can take it. Then you can also take I'm going to also leave the image of this section that I exported. I'm going to also leave them in the link in the description below. So if you feel like practicing, you can go there, you can take them, then you can use them for your practice. So we are going to be importing the paper texture into this page. Now for us to do that, I already have my paper texture in my YouTube folder. Now you can see this is the paper texture. All I just do is drag it into this place. Now you can see where it is. I want it to be in front, so I just take it up here. Good. Now it's in front. So I move it. I place it very well in the center. You can see these guidelines are guiding me. So I click on Ctrl T to select it. Then I just drag it up and down. I scale it very well to fit properly into the A3 sheet. Now this is done. We now have a paper texture, but it is covering the main work. We don't want it to be covering the main work. So the first thing we need to do, we want to turn this paper texture to black because it's looking brown in color. So we want to turn it to black. The first thing we do is to click on this. We'll click on normal here. We change it to hard lights. Click on hard lights. The next thing we need to do is to change the color of this paper texture to gray or a dark color. So for that, we need to come under the adjustment tab, click on the hue and saturation, and reduce the saturation to -100. Then we clip max it, create clipping mask. Now you can see that the paper texture and the main work are fighting each other. You can't really differentiate the main work from the paper texture. So we need to reduce the opacity of this paper texture so as to make the main work pop up. So for us to do that, we click on the paper texture and we reduce the opacity to, like, let's say 17. Okay, now you see the main work is coming out very well. So let's reduce it again to, now we don't want to reduce it to the point that we won't be able to feel that texture, because that's the essence of this, for us to be able to feel that rough texture. So let's make this 21. Let's make it 21. I think this is okay. So after that's done. Now the next thing we need to do is to import our trees. Now you can either do this by downloading trees online, and then you can just import them into the project, or Photoshop also has their own default trees that we can also import. Now for us to import that, we need to click on this, right click on this rectangle tool, we'll click on custom shape tool, we'll come under this tree, we'll click on this drop down, we'll open this leaf tree, then we'll click on this, we'll click on this one. Now we change the fill to white fill and we turn off the stroke. Okay, so we hold our shift and we draw the tree. Now this is okay. Now each tree is usually very heavy, so if you need a very sound system for you to be able to use this. So this is another one. Okay, we have this. Now let's click on this first one and let's we'll click on this first tree and let's Ctrl T to select it. Then let's move it down here. Let's move it to this point. Now you can see how heavy this is, and you can see the way it's even dragging the system. Okay, now that's that for that. Okay, now you can see we've copied the tree. Now you can make them You can also copy them by holding alternate and you just drag. Okay, this is okay. Now we want to make some bigger and want to also make some smaller, so you click on Ctrl T to select this one, then you can drag it up to make it bigger in size. To make it bigger, let's just increase it a little bit. Okay, now let's hold Shift and drag, so that will drag in a straight line so it doesn't bend. Okay, let's stop this here. Okay, now hold alternate and Shift and also drag this. Sorry, we hold alternate. Okay, let's click this. Hold alternate to copy this tree. Sorry for the delay. The trees are really heavy. The trees are really heavy, so you pardon me. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to reduce the opacity of these trees, because you can see they are obstructing the main wall, so we need to reduce the opacity of the trees. We select all the trees and reduce the opacity to, let's say 10. Okay, I think 10 is okay. Yes, 10 is okay. So the next thing we need to do, let's move some this way. Okay, this is nice, this is good, this is okay. I'll click on this one, click on alternate and copy this tree, copy this one here. Okay, let's also hold alternate to copy it. Let's copy this one here. Okay, then click this first one. Let's just hold Shift and move it this way. Okay, let's come back a little bit. Okay, I think this is okay. I think this is good. Okay, now you can see this is basically looking nice. So the next thing we need to do now, you see the trees are showing even inside the section, and we don't want that. The trees are showing inside the section. We don't want the trees to be showing inside the section. So the next thing we are going to do is to click on this. We use the marquee tool to select where we want to cut out of the project. Let's say we've selected this. You click on that tree. Let's say this is 3, copy 2. Then we hold alternate and this to hide it. That's for the tree level 2. We also do the same thing for the marquee tool. We select here. We click on 3, copy 4, alternate this to hide this part. We do the same thing. We just keep hiding the ones we don't want to show inside the building till we are done. Okay, let's say copy 3, alternate and this. Okay, let's Ctrl Z. Let's go back. Okay, now let's find out what tree is this. We hold Ctrl T. Okay, this is this form Fallow Thorn 3 2. So this 3 1, Okay, this is 3-1. Okay, click on this too. We do the same thing for this 3-1 because we don't want it showing inside our building. Select this for the 3-1, click on alternate and this to cut it out. Okay, now okay, so basically we are done with our section. So we are done with the section. So this is how you can create this nice grayish section, presentation section. You can use this for your portfolios. You can use it for whatever you feel like to more express your designs. And this is looking very, very nice. So if this video was in any way helpful to you, kindly give us a like, subscribe to our channel, share this video with your friends because they will really be in need of this, and don't forget to drop a comment because it encourages me to keep doing what I do. So see you guys in our next video.